To begin with, I would like to ask you a question. What, according to you, is the definition of wealth? Hello everyone, my name is Parul Patait and I am a student of Deen Dayal Upadhyay College, Delhi University. Before I move forth, I want you to consider this as more of an interaction than just a speech or talk. I want you guys to think along and keep questioning yourself as and when required. So, by now, you must have thought of the answer to the question I asked in the very beginning. We'll come back to it later, but until then, just keep it in your mind and move along. Now, imagine if happiness had a unit of measurement. Just the way we have kilograms, grams, tons, and liters, similarly, if happiness had a unit of measurement. Also, not to consider here the psychological jargon like the PANA scale, skill-based happiness quiz, index, etc. because I want to keep it rather simple. So just try to quantify happiness. Absurd it might sound, but now let's go for shopping. Considering the wealth that you thought of in the very beginning, tell me what amount of it would you be willing to spend to buy 1 unit of happiness? Now, keeping all the questions and answers aside, let's take a stroll down the memory lane and try to recall the tale which I'm pretty sure you all must be familiar with. The tale of a father and his 3 sons. He gave each one of them equal amount of money and asked them to buy something out of it which completely fills up a room. You remember who won, right? Yes, the one who bought a candle and lit it in the room, thus filling the whole room with light. So here, the money that each one of them had actually didn't make any difference. Rather, it was knowledge and presence of mind which really did. But today the scenario is that whether or not comparable, but we end up measuring every possible thing in terms of money and possessions, particularly material possessions. For us, a person with a hefty sum in his bank account, numerous cars parked in his garage, and a whole lot of rooms in his house is really a wealthy person. But have you ever wondered if he's really happy? Well, certainly he might be, but not necessarily as we often assume. He might be bereft of family's love, of friends' affection, of time, or of anything that he loves to do or aspires for. And the worst part is that all the money in his pocket can do just nothing to get him over this dolorous life. And this is what we all fail to notice. In both the examples that I just stated, they clearly elucidate that money here was surely not the true wealth to be considered. Rather, it was knowledge, time, friends, family, love, or anything that helps you live life to the fullest and moreover experience it to the fullest is actually the true wealth a man can ever possess. We really need to change our perception of wealth. Now, coming back to the 2 questions I asked in the very beginning. Well, certainly not all of you, but I'm sure most of you would have kept wealth equivalent to money. And why not? Whenever we come across this word wealth, we often start wandering in our imaginary rich world. True, isn't it? So tell me, what amount did you exactly decide to pay for that 1 unit of happiness? $100? 1,000? Or maybe even lakhs? But the truth is that no amount would be large enough to buy happiness. Happiness that one gets by spending time with family and friends. Happiness of doing something that he or she really likes. Happiness of spending time with your own self. So indeed it holds true that money cannot buy happiness, or should I say the true wealth. It can only make you look rich outside, but not necessarily from inside. It's time for us to be the change. And if my message brings about even the slightest of it, I already feel like the happiest and thus the wealthiest person on earth. Thank you and have a nice day.